welcome to the WHYcast, episode 28. I'm Nancy.
And I'm Chantal.
And we are the hosts of the only podcast about a hacker camp in the universe. This volunteer-run event will take place this year in the Netherlands, approximately 42 kilometers north of Amsterdam, from August 8 to 12, 2025. So, Chantal, what are we talking about today?
Well, we have a packed episode today with news, of course, but we also have an interview with Thijs from the WHY2025 CTF. We already talked to him before, but they just ended the CTF teaser round. So we're talking about that, and we're also talking to the winner of the teaser round. Yeah.
Very cool.
That was very fun. And there's also a vacancy of the week, and of course, a where to hack.
And I'm so happy that you could help out in filling in for Up for Now. Because you were there at episode 0 and now you're back.
Back for episode 28.
Woo-hoo!
Yay.
28. So good to have you. Very, very cool to do this together. Thanks. So let's talk about some news. I think it's very cool that sometimes when you create something, someone else takes it and makes it into even something more awesome. That is what Robert did. He took our podcast and our podcast is now readable in long form, short form, because he did some magic to it. No, it's not magic when you understand what you're doing. So he transcribed our podcast and created some tooling around it to turn it into blogs. And I hope to have him in a future episode to explain how he did it. But if you go to the website now, WHY2025.org, we are actually in the menu, WHYcast, and there you can read our podcast. So if you don't want to take the time to have a listen, you can always read us now. Is that a way to say that?
Yeah. You can read what was in the episode, which is definitely very cool. Because some people don't like podcasts and like reading. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition. So thanks, Robert, and hopefully you will be available soon to give an explanation on how you did it, because that's what we want to know, of course. When we look at the ticket sales, there are less than 800 tickets left. Oh my goodness. So yes. That's, if you're still lacking one, please let us, don't let us know. Just go to tickets.why2025.org and get them. I think what is also worth mentioning, we have had our last online orga meet last Wednesday. And next weekend, so not tomorrow, but the week after that, there will be the field day, the orga meet. So that's a live orga meet on the field where the actual event is going to happen. We have availability of a canteen there, of the Manesia. I don't know what that's called. It's a horse stable, I guess.
Yeah.
But they have a canteen, so we're not in the horse stable. We are in the canteen of that. It will start around lunchtime. There will be lunch. There will be dinner. And please do sign up on the wiki. The link is in the show notes if you want to be there and want to be fed.
Yeah, don't forget to sign up, or else you won't get any food. So go to the wiki, go to the wiki, put your name down, and let us know what kind of food you want or need.
Yeah, and you can take there the time to talk to other teams. You can walk around on the train. We will have some short presentations on where teams are standing, and you can find the program also on the wiki of that afternoon. So please. Be there. There probably will be cake because it's Simon's birthday, which isn't that big of a surprise anymore because we've told that a couple of times as well. And I hope to see you there. And if you want to be in the WHYcast, find us and we can record an interview with you.
Yeah, or send us an email up front and we'll schedule something with you.
Yeah. Right. Awesome. So I guess that then we can go to the interview. Can you tell a little bit about it? Because we pre-recorded it, of course.
Yeah, so we talked to Thijs, that he is the team lead of the team that does the WHY2025 CTF, and the winner of the CTF teaser rounds, because that happened actually last weekend. Yeah, we did a quite an extensive interview, and they told us a lot about how it went, and also what went wrong, what went good. So it's very cool interview.
I think it's also very useful if you're planning to play the CTF in August.
Hint, hint.
Pom, 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 pom. So let's listen to them. Here today with us are Thijs and Peter. Hello. And Thijs, you promised to come back to the show to explain a little bit on how the teaser went. So can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, so the teaser took place this weekend from Friday 8 o'clock till Sunday 8 o'clock. And of course, we had no idea how many teams would join us when we set this all up. But in the end, more than 200 teams, 223 teams joined and played, and they took a look at the CTF. And 81 of those teams actually managed to solve at least one challenge. We saw a lot of new players, also some people from Y. So we were really happy with that. And people played till the very end. We even had to take a new screenshot of the scoreboard for the socials because in the last minutes the top 10 changed. Team Plain Text got the 7th place, I think. And even the statistics, 81 was the last solved, the 81st person. So that was really cool to see. People enjoyed it. We got a lot of great feedback. And we were really happy with a lot of first-time players. Yeah.
Cool, Thijs. Did you get a lot of reactions on the CTF?
Yeah, so we have the Discord channel where people can discuss anything with us. If there's anything going wrong or something. And we got a lot of great feedback in the Discord channel.
Was there anything that went wrong?
No, everything was quite uneventful for us. Once we start a CDF, of course, we hope everything goes well. And the first 15 minutes were a bit stressy. But once it runs and everything works, then yeah, it works.
Okay, cool. Did you see any people do weird stuff to solve challenges?
Well, doing weird stuff is part of hacking, of course. So most of the stuff we see, we don't think it's weird. What we do see is a lot of people using automated scanners. In the CTFs we create, you don't need those. So that's only wasting resources, bandwidth. But that's the thing we always see.
No, well, that's good to know for WHY2025. You don't need to bring automated scanners.
No, you're just wasting your time.
And the winners, because there were actually a couple of people that solved all the challenges.
Yeah, 5 teams. 5 teams solved all the challenges.
Well, that's really good, I think, for
a
48-hour challenge.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, we were happy with 5 teams, and we were already happy that at least one person or team solved everything. Because when you build something, you hope people can solve it. And with 5 teams, we were really happy that it's solvable.
And what was your, what do you think, Chantal? Because you also joined in a very special team.
Together with you, Nancy, yes. And Odd, also known from the WHYcast, and Paul. I was the only one that actually had some CTF experience, I think. So I kind of had to explain to you that you need to think outside of the box for this one. But yeah, no, we were able to solve 2 of the challenges on Friday night, and the rest of the weekend we didn't really have time and also not the experience to solve everything. But it was really, really fun, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So
well, I actually had a discussion with Ed.
Yeah,
he was really close.
I know.
He had a great progress. It was really cool to see. It's a shame he didn't finish it, but he can try again at Y, because we'll bring back all the challenges. So of course we'll change the flags, but we'll bring back all the challenges for everybody who wants to try them, or if you were stuck and were unable to solve them, you can try them again.
Cool.
Very cool. I thought it was great fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We also were very frustrated, but we had a lot of fun.
That's part of the fun.
Yes.
It's part of CTFing. Frustration is part of the...
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of swear words. Yeah. Well, let's talk with someone that actually solved all of the challenges. And he was actually also the first one to solve all of the challenges. That's why he got first place. Peter, welcome.
Yeah, so maybe makes sense to give a bit of a backstory here. So Thijs and I have known each other for how long? Probably close to 20 years, more than 20 years.
25 years or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I first ran into Thijs at this event called the Outer Brains. It was in 2002, so that's 23 years ago. And he was actually a part of the organizing crew there. And this is more of a LAN party type event. Everybody like brings their computers. And this is like back in the days when people still had like tower PCs they would bring, and they would bring these enormous CRT screens, and so it was a whole operation to go to the event. Very few people actually had laptops or like decent laptops. Anyway, fast forward a bit, I ran into him again at I think HAR 2009, and he was working for Verizon at the time, I think. We had a great time there. Fast forward a bit again, we started playing this thing called CTF, right? That's why we're here. And so at the time, CTF was still in its, I don't know how to say in English, early days. And there was a few competitions, a few bigger ones every now and then. Maybe once a month or so, there was an online competition. And we decided to like group a pool of people, Dutch people together to form like a Dutch team. And that team became known as the Eindbazen. It's Dutch for final bosses. And we were like a group of people from various universities, high school dropouts, professionals like Thijs. And we were playing these CTFs in our spare time on the weekends. And we actually got pretty good at it. So at some point we started qualifying for like some of these online competitions. You could qualify for in-person CTF finals, and those would have to be played in person, and oftentimes the other side of the world. So we went to Russia, Korea, and Canada. We did quite well in this competition. So this is around 2011, 2012, 2013 were our high time years. We were playing lots and lots of these competitions. People still had like, lots of spare time as well, right? So every weekend we were just sitting there for 48 hours grinding away. And at some point somebody made this thing called CTF Time. It's like a platform where they keep like a calendar of all the CTFs that are upcoming, etc. So the competitive element of the CTFs became bigger and bigger, and there was more teams joining. Well, long story short, we got all a bit older and tired, and we had real jobs, and some people got maybe a girlfriend or a wife. Some people had mortgages to pay, and all this stuff. So the team disbanded a bit over the years. But I think in 2013 we actually came in third spot, like worldwide, which was like a big thing at the time. That's like a bit of a history between me and Thijs. I've been playing CTF for a long time, but for the past decade or so, not so much, because like I said, life takes time, and priorities, blah, blah, blah. And also another fun thing to mention is like Thijs would play these CTF competitions with another small group of people that I would organize. And this is typically during Hack in the Box. During Hack in the Box, I would like taunt him with the stuff that we came up with over that we developed over a couple of months, and like watch them like be in total pain and agony for 2 days, trying to solve whatever we came up with. So and on the other hand, he's organizing like the CTFs for Ohm, SHA, and now Y and MCH, of course. So yeah, back in the old days, I was still involved with supplying challenges because back then it was the official Eindbazen CTF actually, before it became part of the I don't know the official event CTF thing. But yeah, afterwards I've not been involved in making any challenges, and I've been enjoying casually playing them. So when I heard last week that they were doing a teaser CTF for the WHY CTF, I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I might just have a look. I'm probably not going to spend too much time. Like, it's Friday evening. I have kids. We have a dog nowadays, and it's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm tired from the work week, so there's no chance in hell I'm actually going to compete. So, well, I did set an alarm clock, of course, because you want to be competitive with CTF. You have to, you have to show up in time and to get like a little bit of a time advantage over the lazy people who do not show up in time. And I started looking at the challenges, and well, it's interesting because like the people who design these challenges, I know these people because I've played CTFs with them. I've worked with them on CTFs. So I also know a bit how they think and how they engineer and how they approach things, right? So I'd say this kind of helps because we have a compatible mindset. But yeah, it was interesting to see what they came up with. There was like, I think, two beginner challenges. So the 50 points ones, really entry level stuff, but yeah, good for people who've never actually done any CTFs or have done very few CTFs. And it's like a good motivation if there's some entry level tasks that are solvable by even people who are not seasoned players, because I think actually being able to solve something during a CTF is a very good motivator to keep grinding at this stuff and keep getting better at it. So yeah,
I think it only took you like 5 minutes, right? The first ones.
Yeah, the first ones were, I mean, textbook stuff, but that's why they're entry level stuff, and that's why we're worth only a few points. Yeah, so I think one of them was like the SQL injection task or whatever. There's automated tools for this, so. And I think I solved it in 5 minutes, but at 5 minutes, so I'm running on a new Mac Mini with no tools installed, right? So I still had to download the tools and install them. So it could have been even faster, but and then the second task was something like a network capture, PCAP. So you get this network traffic. I'm going by memory now. Something ransomware. And so there's a file in there that was encrypted using this ransomware, but also part of the yeah. And so this file was transferred over FTP, I think. So you had to dissect the packet capture, get this encrypted file out of there, and then somewhere in the packet capture you could also find a Python script that was used to encrypt this file. And I quickly looked at the Python script and I realized, okay, I can kind of see what it's doing. And then I did something very unorthodox. I opened ChatGPT and I pasted the script and I said, okay, this is an encryptor script for files. Can you write the reverse for me? Also do it in Python. And it gave me back a script that did exactly the thing in reverse. so then just run that on the on that encrypted file to get the result. So that's how I was able to solve this so quickly. I think it's interesting, like with all this AI stuff. I'm not really like a huge fan, but I do see there's like potential for, especially if you know how to prompt an AI, you know to prompt ChatGPT or DeepSeek or whatever. It's a really, really powerful tool. If you can tell it exactly, okay, I have this, I'm here, and I want to go here. So yeah, that was it for the easy tasks, and then there was some harder tasks. And I think 2 of them were web challenges. Is that correct? Yeah. And one of them was miscellaneous. And I started looking at the miscellaneous for, I don't know, a couple minutes, and it was another packet capture, but this time Bluetooth traffic, I think. And at the time I didn't realize what this Bluetooth traffic was, and it looked very intimidating. So I like, okay, I'm gonna shelf this for now. So like one of these techniques I have is like, if I don't understand something right away, if something doesn't make sense, like we're pressed for time, right? So I just move on to the next thing. And then if I have progress with something, I will keep chipping away at it. If I'm immediately get stuck, then yeah, for me, there's typically, I just shift to another thing, unless there's nothing left, of course. So yeah, I parked the Bluetooth thing. I looked at the web, trying to remember what the web stuff was.
The festival overview and the flyer generator.
Right. Yeah. So there's a flyer generator, interesting challenge. You get to input some text in a web page, and it will render like this PNG file which has a Y-themed flyer image with your text on it, like your personal Y flyer or whatever. And so they provide the source code for this service. So I analyze it, and of course I tried, like I said, unorthodox techniques. I tried asking ChatGPT again, can you identify potential vulnerabilities in this code? And while ChatGPT was looking at it, I was also looking at it myself, and I spot some things, but I'm like, well, this is not going to work because of this, and this is not going to work because of that. And then ChatGPT came back with suggestions that were wrong, like not completely hallucinated, but just not entirely correct. So it was nice to see that this was something that could not be solved entirely automatically. So I did some deeper analysis. And eventually I saw, because of the way the code was written, what the supposed route was supposed to be. So the supposed method you were supposed to use. I kind of had an idea of the direction, but not sure how to achieve this result. And to this moment, I'm still not sure how my solution for Flyer works, but I ended up taking a part of the code from Flyer and putting it in a standalone harness and feeding it arbitrary crap, just random data, until it reached a state in the program that is required for reaching this intended route that gets you to a place where you can actually solve the challenge. So I ended up with an input with random characters that would trigger this edge condition, and then I just took that and then twiddled it a bit, and then eventually get arbitrary command execution. And that was Flyer. And so then I was just left with the Bluetooth and the other web thing. So I studied the Bluetooth some more. There was actually a nice hint. The name of the task was, I don't remember, but it was some model number. So I Googled this model number, and turns out this is a Brother label printer. So a label printer by Brother that apparently works over Bluetooth as well. You can use it to print labels, I guess. So we have basically network traffic from a Brother label printer. And so, okay, I was thinking they're probably printing a label which has the flag on it. So we just have to get the label out of the thing, and then we have the flag, right? It turns out it's not so easy. I found some people on GitHub who reverse engineered this Brother label printer, and they made scripts that can, construct commands that you can send to the label printer in order to print your own labels. So this was the way forward, but I needed to go the other way, right? So I already had traffic to a label printer, and I need to get back like the original image data. So I studied this code, how does this work, and I wrote like a dissector for this network traffic. Long story short, there's like this 1-bit encoded bitmap in there. It's compressed using a standard image compression thing, and then it's concatenated the chunks. And then eventually I didn't know the dimensions of the image. So I got some image output, but it looked like complete garbage, because I didn't know, is this image like 128 pixels wide, or is it 16 pixels wide, or whatever. What I did is you can load it into the GIMP, the image editor. Mm-hmm. And there you have this mode that you can dynamically adjust the dimensions of the image, and it will skew the image to the dimensions you enter. And this way I was just sliding around with this thing until I saw something that looked a bit familiar. And well, long story short, eventually I end up with a flag that's mirrored and upside down and like completely flipped. So, and then I make a screenshot of that, and I flip it, and I invert it, and I rotate it. And then, you have a flag, and you have to type it over letter by letter by letter. So that was the Brother thing. And then final thing is this festival web challenge. Also very fun. Something GraphQL, some query language for web stuff, which was a bit of a red herring, because under the GraphQL, your input was actually being fed into this thing called XPath. Well, I won't go into like a long, boring story, because the story is already boring enough as is, but to TLDR, you get injection in an XPath query. So XPath is this thing that you can use to query nodes inside of a XML formatted document. And so by injecting it to this XPath query, you could reconstruct the original structure of the document that was backing the data with all the festivals. So all the hacker festivals in there, starting from the HIP 97, maybe there's an earlier one. Is HIP 97 the first one?
No?
No?
We have Heu and Galactic Hacker Party before that.
Oh, there's two before it. Shows how much I know. I thought HIP was like the first one. Okay. So Heu is like...
You should have read those the web page. They were all
It
on
was on the website.
It was probably on the website, but I was working on actually breaking the thing, not so much paying attention to it. So yeah, there's this festival data in there, but of course we are looking for flags. So initially I tried enumerating, maybe there's hidden festivals, because I think the Y festival was not actually on the page. So it went all the way up to the last festival. So we're like, that's suspicious. Maybe we have to find the Y festival. And like, okay, so the previous one, MCH, is like ID 10 or something. So I'm like, okay, maybe you have to try ID 11. No, it doesn't work. So you have to do this complicated XPath injection, reconstruct how this document is structured. It was really painful. Like by the time I realized it was XPath, I had to learn about XPath. I have used XPath maybe in the dark past, but not in recent times. So. And then, knowing XPath is one thing, but blindly querying a document for which you do not know the structure using XPath is entirely another thing. I ended up with this thing where I could derive characters from the document, like character by character. I would have a list of all letters in the alphabet, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then like lowercase, uppercase, and then also like the digits and maybe some special characters. And I would try character for character, and basically I had a 1-bit indicator telling me this character is in there or this character is not in there. And then I would go character by character to reconstruct this. And eventually I found some hidden notes in the XML document called flag secret something something. And then more of this manual iteration, I was able to recover the flag. So I think it was 5 or 6 hours into the teaser CTF. But yeah, it was pretty intense. 5 hours of grinding away. Yeah, there was a lot of fun. I think there was a good balance between, like I said, entry-level tasks and tasks for more seasoned players. It's a 48-hour event, I think. But yeah, so there was 5 tasks. I think for some people that's enough to spend the entire weekend. So good job.
Thanks. Some additions on the story of Lusty. The festival, the XPath injection, we heard quite some seasoned players were like, yeah, I never did it before. So even they know what it is and you should be able to exploit it. Actually exploiting it was something that they didn't do before. So they now finally had some time to do that. That was quite fun to hear. And the other one, the flyer, the bug in there is really hard to spot. And the bug is actually inspired by a real bug in some other code I wrote one day, which was not vulnerable, but it did result with in strange behavior. And it took us a lot of time to figure out where that bug was. And then we decided to make a CTF challenge of it and make it vulnerable in this time to make it a fun challenge. And it's really hard to spot. It's challenging. And you don't even have to know where the bug exactly is to exploit it.
Awesome. Oh wow. Well, if I listen to you, Peter, it's like I can imagine that it's kind of intimidating to people who have never played before. And I heard you giving some tips in the story you told. So you said it helps when you get some tiny wins because that will excite you to grind further. And the second one is if you get stuck in a challenge, just move on. Go to the next one. Are there more tips and tricks for noobs like me? Because this was my first one, and I can imagine that it can sound when you explain all these things you did. It can sound a bit, like I said, intimidating. So what are your great tips for beginners or someone who has never done it before?
Stating the obvious, of course, it's like practice. practice. And also for lots of CTF, there's write-ups. So even if you do not manage to solve a task during the CTF, maybe you made some progress, but you got stuck at some point. Eventually, people will publish these write-ups on their blogs or on their GitHub or whatever, and they detail their solution. So it's always fun to, after the CTF, go and look for these write-ups and see how people approached a certain problem. Oftentimes, there's also like multiple solutions or like multiple methods for solving something. So maybe you spent 12 hours and you did eventually solve it, but you have this feeling like, oh, there must be an easier way to have done this. I could have like saved so much time. And then you read a write-up by some guys like, oh yeah, you just do this and this and that. Like, oh damn. So just pay attention to what others are doing, practice. I mean, even outside of actual competitions, there's many websites where you can play CTF all day, every day, around the clock. Those are good. I think what also helps with a lot of these things, right? I hate to say it, but having like a programming background really helps. Because if you have written code before, then you probably know about some pitfalls. So you have to get like in the mindset of the author or the engineer of the task. Like, okay, let's say I wrote a flyer designer.
But does it also work vice versa, that by playing CTFs you become a better programmer?
Yeah, possibly. But I would like, if I had to advise you, I'd approach it the other way around. But everyone is different, right? I've seen people with no programming experience who just got all of that experience out of CTFs just because they were forced to learn. I mean, in the end, programming is just a stupid syntax. It's just a bunch of rules, right? And everything in the world is based around stupid syntax and stupid rules. So if you force yourself to learn like a certain technology or a certain methodology during a CTF, that's also a valid way of acquiring said skills. So there's no one right way to learn these things, I'd say.
There's some things I wanted to add to Peter is in the beginning at CTFing, don't focus too much on solving challenges. Even if you don't solve them, you still learn a lot. You might even do the completely wrong thing for the challenge, but during that path you're on, you actually learn a lot. Yep. And that helps in the future CTFs. Some of the most interesting things I've learned during CTFing were not helping solving the challenge. But somehow I learned a lot of new things that way. And also another thing is play with a team. So you already did that. That was a great start. Of course, Blasty is able to play alone, but there are not a lot of people like Blasty. So play with a team. Then you can discuss the challenges together, and then you can score points together and have fun together.
Yeah, and learn from each other as well.
Especially, yeah. And then it helps if somebody solves challenge, share that solve with the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Show what you've done, especially if others were working on it as well and might be stuck, then they at least know what the last step was.
Yeah, and I think also in an event like WHY, it's great fun to play with more than one people because you're there at the field in the tent and you can actually also have a drink together afterwards or so it's also a great way to connect.
Maybe not all of the challenges also involve a computer.
Especially during the on-site CTF, we have a lot of on-site challenges as well. You also need to be able to lockpick, which is something completely different from the rest of the online CTFs. And we have also seen some people are way better in lockpicking than on hacking. And a lot of hackers are really bad at lockpicking.
Yeah.
Too bad we missed that one, Chantal.
Yeah, it was not on site this time, so yeah.
You're on my team.
We'll see in August, okay?
Yeah, we'll see in August.
There will be multiple lockpicking challenges in August.
Chantal, will you be on my team then?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Well, awesome. Are there other things that you would like to add or share with us? Maybe Thijs or Peter?
I would like to do another shout out to the whole CTF team, because once again I'm here, but of course there's a team behind me, and especially for the teaser, shout out to Bas. SB who has been working his ass off to get everything working and making sure everything works as intended. And because of him, it was uneventful. Everything worked.
Good job, boss.
So we're really happy with that.
Yeah.
A shout out to the team.
Thanks, that's awesome. Well, then for the final thing, I guess, or did you have another question, Chantal?
I do have one question because
Go for it.
Actually, before we started recording, I listened back to the previous episode Thijs was in, and he was talking about the secret token challenge. And then we will come back to that. Oh,
Yeah.
Not yet? Okay.
Not in this WHYcast, in a future WHYcast.
Oh, you
You'll
want
be
to come
back
back
again.
another time?
Yes.
Ah.
Yay.
3 weeks from now on.
So, yeah. No,
Well-
we're still working on the secret token one, and we're going to redesign it a bit.
Okay.
A bit
The
different.
secret token is like a scavenger hunt type
Yeah.
thing.
You did part of that on MCH.
Did I? I don't consciously remember doing it, but possibly.
That
But
happens.
It also was part of the CTF. You had to solve some of the secret tokens to get a point in the CTF. But this time we have some IDs, and we're still working on those. So as soon as we have worked it all out, then we'll get back to you.
More on
To
that
be
later.
continued. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming today. And
We
Peter,
have one more thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Because Peter has
Mhm.
won the CTF.
Yep.
So, we promised a special prize. A special prize for you, my friend. So, your calendar is free, right? For 8 to 12th of August.
My calendar? Yeah, definitely. Not
Perfect.
sure, but yeah, it's free. It's free. Let's say it's free.
Because I am happy to announce that you have won a ticket to Why?
Yay!
By winning the CTF.
Yay! Oh, that saves me about a couple €100, I think. How much
It
is a
does.
ticket these days? A regular one?
362 euros, 42.
Oh.
Yeah.
€362, 42 cents.
42 cents. Yeah.
All right, cool. Is there still tickets available for purchase for regular?
We have approximately 800 tickets left now.
Then is the price still going up or is the price fixed now?
Yes, and now we have the late nerd price, and we also have a procrastinate. That's last minute nerds.
So the last minute nerds pay more.
Yeah. Sorry for that
Sure.
ADHD tax.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, great. Thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. And maybe, Thijs, you also want to announce the other winners and their prizes?
So yeah, we got a second place, which we don't know yet who it is.
Oh.
Give a prize
Okay.
yet, because the second place was Morbion, but we have not been able to reach out to him. So in case Morbion is listening to his WHYcast, contact us on Discord. And the third place is Ba. And the second place will get one of the sweaters of Y, and the third place will get a bucket hat. So we'll
Cool.
contact those players, and of course, if Morbion listens, please let us know who you are.
And
Do you
congratulations.
have an email address for Morbion, or
Because we don't ask for email addresses at the sign up.
there's no way to find them now?
We didn't want to have any of the privacy related data. So that
Makes sense.
backfires when you
Maybe-
need to do that.
Maybe try open source intelligence, where you put his nickname into Google, and then
We actually did, but feel free to teach us how.
you couldn't find him. He's a ghost. He's a mystery.
So the first thing you find is
Maybe it's a she.
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
it might
Sorry
be
about
a-
that.
sorry about that.
He, she, it could be anything. Yeah.
No, if you look at it for this nick, then you find the scoreboard.
Ah.
Well, we'll figure out who this person is, and if anyone knows this person or is this person,
Yes, you have his IP address, right? You could like backtrace him. Yeah.
Well, we could.
well, let's just, like,
Please.
please come forward and send an email or a message on the Discord, and we'll get you your prize.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for all the time and effort you put in creating with the team and playing, of course, and winning this CTF. And thank you so much for being on the show and explain a little bit on what went on and how you got to CTFing and all the other stuff. And hope to see you at Y. Well, I know I will see you at Y, so that's a good thing.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
If you can help out Team CTF with some OSINT to find the winners, that would be lovely.
Corbial.
Or if you are the winner, please reach out to Thijs to claim your prize. Then I think there is a vacancy of the week, and that is a vacancy from your team. Team content. So can you please explain a little bit on what type of volunteers you are looking for?
Yeah, so team content, you all know us from the CFP, where we try to get info on as many interesting speakers as we can and talks and all that kind of stuff. But we want people to review those submissions. Yeah, and so I'm doing basically a call for blind reviewers. So we're looking for people that want to go through all the submissions and let us know their opinion, rate them, so that we have a good feel of what people think of the submissions. So if you're interested, please contact us via the wiki. All the information is there. Mm-hmm. We also have an email address, so you can send us an email, and we'll get that going in the coming weeks.
Yeah. So that it's anyone can do it from any place in the world. So
yes.
You can just read the CFPs and then online, and there you can rate them, right? That
and
is
it's
what
also
it's all about.
It's probably maybe useful to come to a meeting, but you don't have to be at all of our meetings. You can basically do this from home. We do want you to go through not just one submission, but multiple, so that we have a good idea, of course, of. But yeah, basically, we're looking for people that want to look at the submissions and give a blind review.
Cool. Thanks. I think it's a cool volunteering job. So
yeah, it's not a lot of work. You don't have to organize a lot of stuff. It's just basically reading some stuff and giving your opinion.
And very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's go and see where we can hack.
Each week we will share where you can find Y-minded people, where to hack.
This weekend, tomorrow actually, is Open Hackerspaces Day. So a lot of hackerspaces open their doors for people that want to look inside a hackerspace. There's also some activities that you can do usually there. So check out your hackerspace and visit them tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's an international event, right?
Yes, it is. So please do check if your hackerspace near you actually participates in this. But a lot of them do. So we'll put a link in the show notes so you can see if your hackerspace participates.
Yeah. And from what I recall from at least the Dutch hackerspaces is that most of them also is available for all ages. So if you want to bring your kids along, for instance, I think it's a nice way to spend your weekend, or at least a Saturday.
Yeah.
Cool. And also, I don't know if everybody knows it, but you are also are you chairman, woman?
I'm
chairperson,
co-chair. Yeah.
Co-chair.
Just also like you, co-chair. I'm a co-chair. Yes.
Cool. Co-chair of WHYcast.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell a little bit about that and where we can hack with you.
So WHYcast, for the people that don't know what it is Women in Cybersecurity Community Association. We're a group of women that are in cybersecurity or are interested in cybersecurity, and we do monthly meetups. And the next meetup is actually Ethical Hacker for a Day. So I thought this is a a good one to mention in Where to Hack, because you can actually learn how to hack at the meetup. The meetup is the 11th of April, and it is at KPN in Amsterdam.
Okay.
If you're interested, check it out. The link is in the show notes.
And is it open for any gender?
It kind of depends on how many signups we get, because we do prioritize women. But if there are any places left, then any gender is welcome.
Cool. The 11th of April in Amsterdam. Very nice. Well, let me look at the mailbox. No messages from listeners this week.
That's too bad.
But if you would like to leave feedback or anything, you can do that in the comment section of anything that you are listening on. Subscribe. Please join in on the conversation, and you can always send us an email at WHY2025.org. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you next Friday.
Friday!